We are now resuming after taking the break to sort out the papers. Mr. Mola, you are still under oath.
That's correct, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
Advocate Skipper.
Thank you, Chair. Mr. Mola, I think we ended off by saying that you did make screenshots or managed to retrieve screenshots from the device, and you also mentioned the dates that they were created. And I referred the panel to the fact that we already dealt with it during the complainant's evidence. What I wanted to ask you further on, from the screenshots that you managed to retrieve, can you see who is the sender and who's the receiver on those screenshots?
Mr. Chair, if one looks at the screenshots, so the screenshots at the top of the page, at the top of the screen then, normally will indicate the individual that is involved in the communication. So the device that the screenshot was taken on, that person was communicating with normally the name at the top of the screenshot.
If I understand you correctly, Mr. Mola, that at the top of the screen, the name there is the person who was the sender of it.
Not necessarily the sender. It can be either the person that's receiving the message or that was sending the message. So it's a conversation that's taking place on WhatsApp. So it's outgoing and incoming messages. So the way that one will distinguish between the outgoing and the incoming messages is by looking at the color of the message. So if I remember correct, the green ones are the outgoing messages and the white ones are the incoming messages.
So that's how you can distinguish.
That is correct. The other way, so normally on the outgoing messages, on the right-hand bottom corner of a message, one will see that there is normally tick marks. So that in effect means something. So when it's only one tick, it means the message was sent, but not yet delivered. So when the message is delivered to the recipient side, then one will see that there's two ticks at the right bottom side. So dependent on the way that the WhatsApp account is set up, so if, let's take an example, if Skipper sends me a message and I open the message, my device will, without me knowing, send a read receipt to her device. Then those two ticks will change the color to blue. But if my device is set that I don't want to make use of the delivery note, on her side, the two ticks will always stay black. It will not change to a blue. So even when we go into the database of her device, one will see the date and time that the message was sent to me, but the date and time that I opened the message will not be visible on her side. Only if my blue ticks were activated on her side, on the database, you'll see the date and time that the message was read as well.
Thank you, Mr. Mola.
Thank you. But other from the screenshots, you cannot say that this was definitely from the numbers that you made the downloads from the screenshots itself.
No, from the screenshot itself, there's no telephone numbers indicated on that. So from there, it's not possible for me to determine who the two parties involved in the communication was.
All right. From the downloading that you did,
Yes.
Let me first ask you this because we did not cover that. Now, you found the screenshots, but you did not retrieve the WhatsApp conversations at that stage yet.
So the conversations was extracted, but during my search, I didn't detect them. And the reason why that happened, so I was looking for a specific cell phone number. In this case, when I was working on the Galaxy A12, I was specifically looking for the cell phone number ending 5902. And I did a cell phone number search. Now, the problem with doing a cell phone number search, it only detects where the number was saved. But WhatsApp itself, in the database, it doesn't save the number as the entity or the name. It actually saves the cell phone number at it saves the cell phone number as a WhatsApp account. So it will be the cell phone number at s.whatsapp.com. So if you put in the cell phone number searching for conversations in WhatsApp, the forensic software doesn't detect that. So what I had to do to get to the actual messages that was extracted, I used the screen name Mfanelu that was allocated or used by the Galaxy S20 to get the conversation between the A12 device and the WhatsApp account linked to the S20 cell phone device.
Between the S20 and the I12.
That's correct. So when I looked for the screen name Mfanelu, I actually found 855 chat messages between the two devices, the S20 and the A12 device.
How many?
How many?
855 chat messages.
Yes, you can proceed.
So, Chair, these 855 messages was between the screen name Mfanelu. Just get my notes open here. Mfanelu, for which the cell phone number was saved as JP, and that's belonging to the S20, and then the A12 with the WhatsApp account 5395 that was found on the A12 device belonging to the Miss Mengu. For this messages, I created a separate report that consisted of 433 pages that I sent electronically to Advocate Skeepers. Again, Chair, I didn't analyze the content of the messages. I merely extracted the messages, created the report, and forwarded that to the advocate.
How many?
433 pages.
And from those messages that you downloaded, is it possible for you to determine who was the sender and who was the receiver from that?
That's correct. Chair, so as part of the forensic report, it indicates to us the content of the message, so the wording as it was found on the device itself, the information for the person that sent the message, the information for the person that received the message. Then it will give us the date and time, the exact date and time that the message was sent or received. It will give us the status. If the blue tick functionality was activated, it will tell us whether it's an incoming or outgoing message. If it is an outgoing message, whether the other person read the message. So all of that, we normally call it the technical information or the metadata for a message. All of that information forms part of the forensic report.
No, but you can't be correct to say that they can tell you who sent the messages.
Again, Chair, as I explained earlier, the message as it's saved on the device gives us the numbers. So we know which number received and sent the messages, but who the actual person behind the phone was, I can't comment on that.
Yes, that's what I'm saying, because previously, a few sentences back, you said you could tell who sent that. But I think you meant to say which number sent it.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
Yes.
It's just, it's indicating the number. And if the number was saved as a name, the screen name or the person's name will also be indicated. That was found on the device itself. But the individual behind the phone can't be identified through this.